Taking our two equations because the absolute value is by itself. So we have x minus 9 equals negative 5. So let's just look over here at this equation on the right. I'm going to make my two equations right away. I personally like it when the variable's on the left side of the equal sign. And then we'll just solve both these equations, or all four of these equations. 2x plus 7 equals negative 3. So why are we doing plus and minus 3? We're doing it because that's the distance from 0. We want to find the two x values that are 3 away from 0. So when I look at this problem on the left here, I'm going to add 9 to both sides of both equations. So you can do that. And on the equations on the right side, I'm going to subtract 7, both sides of both equations. This equation on the left is called a one-step linear equation because I have my answer after solving one step. Here I subtract 7. This is a two-step linear equation. How do you know it's linear? Because you just took a test on that. Because it's x to what power?
1.
X to the first power. When it's just 1x, it's linear. Okay, so on this left side, we get x equals 14. On the right side, we get x equals 4. The equations over here, we get 2x equals negative 4, and we get 2x equals negative 10. What's the last step on these equations? Divide by 2. Both equations. That's why it's a two-step equation. It's literally as simple as that. So I'm going to write the answer up here because I kind of ran out of room. X equals negative 2 and negative 5. So you can write two different x equals, or you could write x equals one number comma the other. Totally fine.
X equals 14 and 4.
14 and 4, and the second equation was negative 2 and negative 5. Okay? So let's just, actually I don't want to plug in yet. You don't need to plug these ones in. If I want you to check for extraneous on the test, I'll say next to that problem, check for extraneous, and then you'll see if it works or doesn't. The one that doesn't work for us in this lesson is this one right here, but we're going to get there, not yet. Okay, first step on this equation is what, Jonah? This guy right here. First step. I want to get absolute value by itself. 17. Okay, subtract 17 from both sides. We get x minus 1 equals 6. Now I'm going to make my second case, x minus 1 equals negative 6. Your homework problems are more like this. Right? We're just getting your brains warmed up by doing these kind of easier problems here. So next we add 1 to both sides, both equations. So over here I get x equals 7. Over here I get x equals negative 5. Done. Easy peasy. So this one, you can never distribute into absolute value. Okay? You can never distribute. You always have to divide that number away if it's 3 times absolute value. So our first step here is to divide by negative 3. Or divide by positive 3. I don't know why I said negative 3. Divide by 3. We get two cases now. X plus 8 equals 13. And we get x plus 8 equals negative 13. What do we do for this step? Anyone? Next step. Minus 8, minus 8, minus 8, minus 8. So we get x equals 5. And on this one, we get x equals negative 21. Remember, when you're subtracting two negatives, you just add the numbers, keep the sign. Okay? So over here, we got to get absolute value by itself, right? So this minus 9 and this 2 times the absolute values in its way. So first thing we got to do is add the 9 to both sides. And then we'll see what we get there. So we get 2 times absolute value, 5x plus 1, bit of more obvious absolute value, equals 4x plus 26. Then we have to divide out because it's like 2 times this absolute value. You can't distribute, that's why we have to divide that 2 out. And I really appreciate when you show divide by 2 on both parts of that the right side of the equal. I find that if students write the big fraction bar and the divide by 2, you tend to forget to reduce one of them or divide one of them, which gives you the wrong answer, and that's always annoying. So we have 5x plus 1 equals 2x plus 13, and then we'll make our 2 cases over here. So 5x plus 1 equals 2x plus 13. And then our second one, 5x plus 1. Now this is where it gets a little funky. We do negative, right, because we're subtracting, and then you have to subtract both parts. So what I think, instead of writing that negative in front, I just switch both signs on the right side of the equal, right? If you think just switch both signs, you'll always be right. And then that's what happens in this next step here. We get negative 2x minus 13. So first step, I always like to get rid of the smallest variable first. So on this left equation over here, smallest variable is 2x. On this equation, smallest variable is negative 2x. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides on the equation on the left. That puts my variables on the left side of the equal. So I'm going to get my numbers on the right side of the equal sign by subtracting 1. This equation on the right side, I'm going to add 2x to both sides. Remember, you always have to keep it lined up. X's with x's, numbers with numbers. Then I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So we get 3x equals 12 on the left equation. On the right equation, we get 7x equals negative 14. What's the last step on the equation on the left? Divide by 3, divide by 3. The equation on the right, divide by 7, divide by 7. Okay, equation on the left, we get x equals 4. Equation on the right, we get x equals negative 2. So I'm not plugging in because I know they work, right? But this one, the next one, we are going to plug in because we get an extraneous answer. So very first step, I have to get the absolute value by itself. So I'm going to add x over as a very first step. So we get 2 times the absolute value of x plus 1 equals 4x minus 4. What's the next step?
You divide by 2.
Got to divide that 2 out, right? Because it's 2 times the absolute value. Again, show that divide 2 on all the parts. So I had a kid last period say, why don't you divide the 2 into the absolute value? Because 2 over 2 is 1. So we're just left with the x plus 1 on the left side, right? So that's why you just divide what's in front. So we get absolute value of x plus 1 equals 2x minus 2. Now I'm going to make my 2 cases over here. So x plus 1 equals 2x minus 2.
Wait. Oh, yeah, I got you.
And then x plus 1. It's all good. And then we switch both signs. I find that easier. Like, write that above. Switch both signs, right? So it's negative 2x plus 2. Right? Because we're subtracting both parts. That's why. So I get rid of the smallest variable first. First equation, I'm going to subtract x. Second equation, I'm going to add 2x. The only reason I do that is to keep the variables positive because you guys make less mistakes when you have positive variables. Okay? So on the equation on the left, my x's will be on the right side of the equal, right? Because this x is going to cancel. I'm going to get an x value here. So I'm going to add this 2 to both sides of the equal. We're big kids now. We can do 2 steps at once. And then I'm going to minus 1 on both sides over here. So it's an actual teaching technique called parallel instruction, right? Solving 2 different problems, which work out a little bit differently because it helps you to see the easiest way to do those problems. So we get 3 equals x, done. That's nice when everything works out like that. Over here we get 3x equals 1. What's the last step? Divide by 3. So x equals 1/3. So I'm going to plug in the 1/3 because I know that's the one that does not work. Okay, I'm going to plug it in down here. So we're doing our check right here. I know this one does work just because I've taught the lesson. Okay, if you had on the test and this was a problem, I'd make you check both of the x values, which is annoying, but you're going to have to do that at least once on the test. So we get 2, absolute value 1/3 plus 1 minus 1/3 equals 3 times 1/3 minus 4. I'll give you a chance to write that down. It's an irritating number of times to plug in 1/3. I fully acknowledge that. First thing we always have to do, PEMDAS, right, is we got to do what's within the grouping symbols. Absolute value is considered grouping symbols, so we got to add 1/3 and 1. What is 1 in thirds? How many thirds is 1? 3/3. So I'm just going to write 3/3 instead. So if I do 1/3 plus 3/3, how many thirds do I get? 2 times absolute. And then what's the absolute value of 4/3? Just stays 4/3, right? And then we have minus 1/3. What's 3 times 1/3? 1. Somebody said it. 1 minus 4 is -3. Then we got to fix up this left side. More of a pain in the neck for sure. So on the left, when we multiply fractions, we go straight across top and bottom. So 2 times 4 is 8/3. Minus 1/3, 7/3. So clearly 7/3 does not equal -3. So you can just write it like that, totally fine, right? You could write extraneous if you want. You just got to show that those two don't equal in some way, right? So putting a slash through the equals, totally fine. Okay, what do I do with this equation right here? What do I have to get rid of first? Positive 10, right? How do I get rid of positive 10? Minus 10 both sides. Yep.
So for that, like the check part, are we always doing that equation, or is it always different?
It just totally depends. Sometimes you get one answer that doesn't work. Sometimes both answers don't work, and sometimes both answers do work.
No, I mean like the actual equation. Like, will we always use that?
Are you talking about this?
Yes.
Yeah, all we did is take this answer and plug it in for all these x's. Right there, right?
Okay.
It's all good. So 2 minus 10 is -8. You should already know the answer to this problem. What's the answer? No solution, right? You can't have absolute value. It doesn't matter what number I plug in over there for that x, I can't get a negative answer because absolute value always turns it positive. Okay? So right away, you could go out and solve it, but you'll never get an answer that works, right? But if you realize at this point it's no solution, go ahead and write no solution. You don't have to do 2 separate cases. You already know it doesn't work. Okay? Adios. All right, so last problem. NFL regulates air pressure of footballs used during games. They had an issue with the Patriots like several years ago where they were underinflating the footballs. Tom Brady, who was quarterback for the Patriots, underinflating footballs because it made them easier to catch, right? So it was a huge scandal with the Patriots underinflating footballs, which is silly, but whatever. So they have regulation. It's got to be 13 pounds per square inch, PSI, plus or minus 0.5. So it could be 0.5 under or 0.5 over. What's the answer? What's 13 plus 0.5? 13.5. What's 13 minus 0.5? 12.5. So you already know the answer, but you're in an algebra class, so you got to prove it with an equation. Here's the equation. X minus 13, absolute value of x minus 13, equals 0.5. Okay, then we make our two cases, right? Because the absolute value is by itself. And let's say you plug this in and you're not sure if the 13 goes here or here. Try it out both ways. Solve it and see if your answer makes sense. And then you'll know, right? Sometimes it's confusing whether this is a plus or a minus right here. Just try stuff and have an answer make sense. It's a good lick, Shay. So x minus 13 equals 0.5, case 1. X minus 13 equals negative 0.5, that's case 2. So what do I do to both sides of both equations? Add 13. You should already know the answer to this before you begin. You still have to prove it with an equation, like I said, because you're in Algebra 2. So x equals 13.5. Remember your units, PSI. And then x equals 12.5 PSI. So your homework is page 89, 246, 810. Yep. All right, 246, 810, page 89. I don't have a sheet yet, so I can't check homework. I'll check it on block day, Thursday for you guys. That's I have to check Friday's homework, Monday's homework, and then I'll check Tuesday's as well. So I'll check 3 assignments. Make sure you guys are doing Alex topics, okay? Because that greatly affects your grade if you're not. It's a total bummer if you lose points for that. You're good. Bust a move. Get her done. Did I tell you the average for the test?
Yeah.
I said that right? Okay, good. Kind of all blends together.
Can I go to the bathroom?
You sure can.
Thanks.
Yep.
On the first weekend of Algebra 2 before like the summer.
Yeah. Oh, look at you. All right, cool.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yes. I don't know what to do. We'll give you some on the next test if we need to, okay?
What?
We'll give you extra on the next test since the first one worked out well, okay? You get a couple extra points for sure.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Right? Why is this one not a solution?
Because it's about that number.
But
It doesn't matter in here, right? It's after. This one, because we get -8 right there, doesn't matter what I plug in for that x, I can never get a -8.
okay.
Okay? Good question. Keep asking. Go ahead. Is it old stuff?
I think it's this one.
I can't check it because I don't have the sheet yet, but I will on Thursday for you. Yeah, you gotta find it.
Page 7, one of 79.
79. I think it might be over there. Can you see the seating chart with pictures? I think right below there's week 4, just grab that for me, and I'll put it in for you.
Today is the most weird I've had.
You should.
79, I think this one was the one that was, after
This one or the other one?
79 and, this one might have been guessed.
Okay. Yeah, and then you can show me that.
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
Yep, no worries.
What? 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 When was this year? I'm keeping it.
Jacob, what do you think your score? Are you happy or-
I haven't really ever done like a meal like or after smoke or something.
Oh, nice, good. Nice work.
Yeah, I've started checking it every day now since I'm just walking.
Yeah, you seem more on top of it this year certainly than last, right? What up?
These days, the bill was moving so high, the sheets, I have no idea.
What she's about?
It's actually some but I'm excited now that it's
I
gonna
would save, yeah, for sure.
When's next semester?
We're early in this chapter, so at least another 2 weeks. Why did you get time?
Alright, perfect.
Plenty of time, you can chill for a bit. It's nice.
At the end of July because we wanted to move into the time. We would have moved earlier, but then.
Again, come in for help if you're not happy with your test score,
Anyway,
so I can help you figure out how to do better.
Oh, yes, that's right. I keep forgetting.
It's a solvable problem, that's all I gotta tell you.
It is.
My specialty.
But I don't think I can strive for an A, or I'm trying to get
You
a
can.
A for like a test score.
I think you could get an A over the semester. That's what I think.
And that's what I want.
You would be so psyched if you got an A over the semester.
I got my A.
I had this girl last year, actually, I was one kid, first semester, she had to get like a 92 on the final or something like that to get an A, and she got it exactly, like literally exactly 92. Like, I almost started crying, I was so happy for her, you know, she worked so hard to get it. Super cool.
Do you have solutions for the moment?
It's posted in the, isn't it up there? Top of it, yeah.
Not a good thing.
I think it's on the top right.
Do it. And what if that was no, I have allergies.
Oh, it was right there all along. I just saw it for 2 minutes.
Wait, what did you say again? So wonderful.
So for like the first question, there's a like anything like that. Like does that just mean like with 4W minus 1, it's just 4W minus 1, and there's another equation where it's 4W plus 1?
So no, this side stays the same, and you switch both signs on this one. So it's negative 5W minus 37.
Okay.
Because that was 37, right? That's just a straight over.
Okay.
Switch both signs, that's what I was thinking, switch both signs.
Just
Right
one side of the equation.
Right side, always right side. Keep absolute value on the left, and I would rewrite it. If it's on the wrong side, switch it, Just so you do it the same way every time. You try to turn it into a little math robot, you know? It's irritating when you mess it up. So,
Anyways, can you focus? This shit, what is this? The McGraw Hill Home show is not my right.
you got a shady look on your face there.
I was just like, what?
Yeah.
So far, number 2 was.
Forget my name.
Which
one?
Are you gonna do third?
Number 2.
Oh.
No, yeah, number 2.
They both become, oh, yes you do, because one is. Just check the one that didn't work, negative 38. The answer is negative 38, plug it in the check, just to show it. Do you see in the end? What'd you get in the very end? What did the solution show? Because right here is 153.
James, I'll guess it.
That's the solution, so make it easier. So I'll make you check every single one, because that'll make you crazy. Right, just check it if it doesn't work by looking at the solutions.
Did I show you my
Because it's good, yeah, so you can learn how to do it too, right? So you plug negative 38 in for the W's.
public opinion poll?
Can't decide if I should let everybody take the page every test.
So you always have to like check it every single time you do an equation.
Now look at the solutions and only check the ones that don't work, just to save you time.
Yeah, so this is, okay, so this is no solve. So you
To the second, negative 38 does not work.
oh, you did use that negative, so it's no solution.
No, that's not why. You plug in, instead of the W in the original equation, plug in negative 38 and see if you get the same number on both sides. Do you have the solutions pulled up?
No, I don't, I was just curious because I didn't
Here,
know.
I'll just show you on there, 'cause
Like if I'm on like a test or something, I see something.
then you have to plug it in. It's the most irritating thing to
I would
do.
like every single like
You
problem I
know
have to
you
plug
can
stuff
do,
in.
you can do this. You can do these things.
Yeah. Actually, not really.
Because I would cluster the ones I use all the time. I have no idea what it is. Oh, this thing is tiny.
Wait, I just realized this is the same person. Not even the same person's voice. Yeah, but the one
I'm so sorry.
Moon did not care.
I'm locked in.
One
I'm
bit.
so sorry. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Can I go?
Yep.
Wait, is it exponents?
So when we plug in number 2, 38 for both W's, we get 153, which does not equal negative 153. Right on the left side, we get absolute value of negative 153, which is positive. On this side, we get negative.
Oh, so that would be even on both
Yeah,
universes?
exactly. Yes. That's why, like, because that's a good realization. Right? You're like, wow, that's a lot.
Wait, I know what we did.
Get that crud going around, huh?
I've had it for 2 weeks.
Oh.
That's such a pain.
So next time, what you do is you go to Whole Foods, and you buy this stuff called Kick-Ass Immunity.
Okay, let me write it.
It's like $25. It's absurdly expensive, but make your parents buy it. And as soon as you feel that illness, it comes like a dropper, and they say put it in water and drink the water, man up and right down the gullet. and it works, like it'll kill colds.
Okay.
With the help of that, I only get sick like once a year.
My coach always tells me to drink like bone broth whenever you get sick or something like that. It helps.
I made a
It's really
really
gross.
good chicken tortilla soup with beef marrow bones in there, and it just, oh my god, it was so good.
I got really disgusting if you like
It's not that, yeah, it's not great, but I know what you mean. It's good for you.
Yeah, so that's
Did you guys see a bigger administrative presence in the hallways today? They said they're gonna ask you about your phones in the hallways.
Not really. They didn't ask us about our phones.
Like, if they saw it, be like, put it away. Like, they're supposed to be more aggressive about it today.
I think they're just gonna do it.
Oh, they just took them?
And then go back.
Oh. Like you're in the hallway with your phone and you're just like, you get it at the end of the day or something?
I completely agree. I don't need my phone in
It's
class.
it's like a beacon of light right there, just like,
Yeah,
it's
especially
gonna die, you gotta like.
lunch is like you need to like do things to get things done.
Agreed. And for me, like, my to-do list is like on my phone. And I go on to these.
In the library. Because they bus kids every year, right? So, you know, and take tests and that. What up? We all do it.
I started, I've been, stuff right here, plus 37, and plus 5. Yeah, I don't, but,
Yeah, she did two plus five.
can you, I know, can you minus
Plus,
one?
no, because that's smaller, right?
Oh.
8 minutes.
But now you
That's
should.
so much time to get your stuff.
So beat F5W. Right? Then we have W's on this side, right? I have one W over here. And then I don't want to do this. I should add one.